of Larry Trumpuskis, Joshua Bruce and Lorestas Trumpuskis. A round of applause please for the guests today. Home team for this afternoon, Drumchapel Table Tennis Club, is Danny Badger. And our wonderful umpires today are Catherine and Jury. Everyone, please enjoy the final match of the season. Make sure we're giving teams both really good support and enjoy the table tennis. Thank you. Welcome to the final weekend postponed match here between Drumchapel Glasgow Table Tennis Club and Fusion. So on table one we have Danny Bajwa versus Lorestas Trumpuskis, and on table two, just off to the left of the camera, we have Ben Hart against Larry Trumpuskis. Both tables just going through their final preparations, getting warmed up for the match. I'm sure table one promises to be an exciting match with Danny and Lorestas. Obviously, Lorestas known for being one of the best veteran players in the UK. Danny as well, top player in his own right. So, two left-handers. I'm anticipating lots of good rallies here. It should be a good one to kick off the day.
Good afternoon, Martin.
Good afternoon, Aaron. How are we?
I'm alright. I'm pretty worried the scoring isn't going to work. I'm going to try my best for it to work.
That's all we can do. We can only try our best.
How you doing?
Not bad, obviously we're enjoying a beautiful wet, windy afternoon in Glasgow. So the joys of being an indoor sport is that we get to hide.
Well, summer finished about 3 weeks ago.
Approximately 2 days after it started. So here we go, both games getting underway simultaneously with both Drumchapel players serving. Straight away from me, you can see Danny's clearly got an idea of what he wants to do and try and keep Lorestos into that backhand side. Even in the warm-up we noticed a strong forehand from Lorestos, but Danny gets one in on his own there, leaving Lorestos just to watch the ball go by.
I fixed the scoring. It's good news.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks, mate. Is that Ben Hart's first Premiership point, Martin? On the other table there?
I think it will be, yeah, his first point.
Congratulations to Ben Hart. Good achievement.
Looks like it's going to be another one. Oh, unlucky. Some good stuff there on table 2.
You mentioned it a minute ago, Martin, but Danny's clearly got a game plan here, and I think 4 times he's lost the same point. But not through doing the wrong thing, just by hitting the ball wrong. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, just put it off the back end of the table. Obviously, he missed one flick as well that he's got on this time, which is able to then manipulate Lorestos a little bit. But I feel like both players just seem a bit tentative, not really doing too much, not moving their feet as well as they could do. I think especially this stage in the season when the table's wrapped up and the titles are sealed, then maybe both players just need a little bit of an injection of energy and remember that at the end of the day they've still got a match to win.
Yeah. I think you see that in all sport though, don't you?
You definitely do.
You don't want to be walking about on holiday with a sore leg for injuring yourself in the last game of the season.
Absolutely. So on table 2, Larry Trumpuskas takes the first set 11-1 against Ben Hart. No shame in that. Larry's obviously just sitting outside the top 10 in England at the moment. Good player, and I think would I be correct in saying Ben's first match in the Premier Division? So it's a good experience for him to get in and play these types of matches, especially if he wants to improve, which he has been doing at a rapid pace of knots this summer. So it's good to get in and play these top players and hopefully challenge himself and push. But we've not seen much action here on table 1.
Yeah, it's been a lot of attrition, if that's possible to happen within the first 12 points of the match.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a long 12 points already. There's not much going on, but it's taken a hell of a lot of time.
This is going to sound like the most basic table tennis thing ever to see in the Premier Division, but currently if you're hitting the table, you'll win the point at the moment.
Certainly seems that way.
Sort of unforced errors here, probably 9 or above. There's another one.
10.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, when you're looking at Danny's services, I've only seen him do one into Lorestos' forehand. He seems to want to, as you noticed from the very first 2 points, serve into the backhand and then look to go backhand to backhand with Lorestos before trying to change. But the thing is, as you said, Aaron, the rallies aren't getting there.
It's another one. Yeah. On the other table here, Ben Hart's just put 2 of the best forehands on I think he's hit all season, and then just had it creamed past him. So it's tough competing at such a high level for Ben. Learning curve. Yes, good flick.
If you hear any untoward panting on the microphones, it isn't me and Aaron watching the table tennis. There is some dogs with us today. We've got the entire Drumchapel family in this afternoon, so it's very interesting to say the least. Fantastic rally on table 2 there between Ben and Larry. Ben Hart even going for a jump and smash, which was successful. Very important serve here for Danny. Trailing 9-8 in the first set. As we know in table tennis, the first set can often prove to be quite crucial.
Yeah, it's good.
Good from Danny there to change the service up to the forehand side, but you can see obviously the reluctancy to play that forehand from Larestis, which is so used to receiving on the backhand there. So maybe that was a clever service change there from Danny.
I think maybe on a different day here with some different personnel playing for Drumchapel, you could see the lesser spotted timeout first set.
That screams of Yazzer the Zook, that does. Great rally, now we're getting into it. Oh, fantastic from Danny, clinging in there. Brilliant to go 10-9 up, absolutely fantastic. A lot of pressure there from Larestis, but Danny clung on. Table 2, we're locked in at 6-all. Again, fantastic rally from Ben Hart. Raises his hand in apology as he clipped the net midway through the rally, but he's doing incredibly well. Rory Rowan on the bench on his feet there as Danny takes the first set 11-9. Finally, it only took 20 points, but we got a bit of action in there. It was
We
good
did.
to see on table 1.
Even at 9-all, there was a big unforced error there from
Larestis, yeah, it was.
With the smash. So as we said, it was a bit of a war of attrition there for the first set, and I don't know what's happened to the scoring.
It's good to see Ben Hart leading 8-7 on table 2.
I think the scoring has gone haywire here. So not added the set. I think that's finished the match at 1-0.
We'll take that.
Leave it with me. I'll be back.
On table 2 we've got Ben Hart leading 9-7. It's good to see, great level of maturity after losing that first set 11-1, that he's clearly back in this. 9-8 now, with Larry serving. Start of the second set on table 1 here, we have Larestis to get us underway. First blood to Danny. Very interesting service action from Larestis, the backhand serve, but it's more of a stab of the ball than anything else. And a great forehand on table 2 from Ben Hart from the middle of the table. Rockets past Larry Trumpauskas. Ben currently serving, leading 10-9. Can he take this set? He can indeed. Great from Ben Hart. After losing the first set 11-1, comes back to win the second 11-9. Absolutely a wonderful level of maturity there. As you've already seen a couple of times, both players just wiping their hand on the table. It is a wet, miserable day here in Drumchapel, so a lot of humidity in the hall, a lot of water in the air, so we might see a few wet balls, and we might see obviously a few more of hands getting wiped on the table as just both players trying to make sure that sweat and condensation's away from the area of play. Oh, that's fantastic from Danny Bajwa. Great from both, if we're being honest. Larestis moving the ball around fantastically well, but Danny on the run, forehand cross court, beautiful.
Disaster averted. What were you worried about? Scores back.
Amazing stuff, as is always. Sod's Law. Table 2 is the one with the most action.
You know, we were actually discussing, me and the umpire Catherine O'Neill were discussing where to put the matches earlier, and obviously her eye, she decided we're going to go table 1 and table 2 for these games, but as you say then, maybe the wrong choice. It's tough there from Danny, that's another unforced error, but personally I'm delighted that we both working again.
That's all we can hope for.
Thanks to Fusion TTC there for the fantastic congrats on the replies. They're loving this.
I'm glad someone is.
I know. I tell you who is, the dog's heart are loving this.
Yeah, indeed.
Danny, two backhands straight off the bounce in the bottom of the net there, I don't know.
I mean, the rally before he missed the serve, but...
That's exactly what it was. That's what happens when you're not paying attention.
It's too much action going on, but yeah, as you said, it's been a game of just missed opportunities and unforced errors that are costing both players here. Not very many clean winners, but that's the game. Oh, that was a really good receive from Danny onto the wide forehand of Lorestas, but he just couldn't quite connect. Trying to force that angle too much out wide. On the next ball, Danny serving 6-8. Like it from Danny getting the backhand on the table, and as is evident, when he gets those shots on, they're difficult to get back, but both players again, lots of unforced errors.
Made a coup out of that one.
As most lefties do.
Yeah. Just as you have, sort of like mid-high backhand shots, just poking them on the table. 3 set points here now.
Yeah.
I think Danny would fancy this though. If he can win this 1 point, I think he'd fancy himself to bring this back to 10-0.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
But he can't, so
curse the commentators, we don't need to worry about that.
No. Don't worry about it.
So, Aaron, if you're in the corner there, as you're not Aaron Richardson, you're now Rory Rowan in the corner. What are you saying to Danny?
Well, if I'm in the corner, I'm saying speak to somebody else because I've run away for half the set trying to fix the scoreboard. So I'm not sure.
You know what? At least you're honest. At least you're honest. I appreciate that. But I think, as you can see there, the gestures from Rory is, just roll the backhand, get it on, hit the ball as hard as possible, try and minimise those errors. And on table 2, we have Larry Trampuskas taking that set 11-7. Certainly all to play for.
I think both players here in this game, Martin, would be are probably delighted to be at 1-0 because neither of them have played well, and it's one of those matches where you could easily be 2-0 down before you know what's happening. Yeah,
I agree, and played enough myself. I've been in those positions where you find yourself either at 1-1 or even a couple of weeks ago at the Slovenian Open, I found myself 2-0 up.
Yeah.
And at 2-0 up, I couldn't have told you how I got to that point. It was one of those matches where you just somehow find yourself in a winning position.
Yeah.
And I went on to lose the match 3-2, and I felt like I deserved it because I was like, it was one of those matches where you were fortunate enough that your opponent missed more than you.
Yeah.
And it seems to be that match here today where between Danny and Lorestas, it's who seems to miss less is winning, and I know that's a silly thing to say, but there's not been much action going on in terms of winning clean points. It's been just mistakes from both parties. So it'll be interesting to see now that they've had 2 sets under their belt. The match is obviously now a bit tighter. Can we make less errors? So we got a little bit of a rally there, which was good, and you can see both players taking the pace off the ball.
Was that Danny just being tentative though, because he went block, and usually if he was feeling himself, he would have tried to hit one of those and try and get on top of the ball there?
Yeah, but I think, with the conditions in here today, it looks like it's playing a little bit wet. So I think that's why Danny's obviously trying to hit the ball a little bit harder and force those rallies to be ended quicker. Make sure that, he's not giving the rest this time on the ball, or even obviously the ball to build up condensation in the hole. So I think it's an interesting one.
I think you mentioned it there. I think this hall, sort of famously within Scotland, is probably the wettest.
I think it's just where we're situated in the country. You know, we're slap bang in the middle of the central belt. We've got a metal roof and brick walls, you know, but no one ever complains about the conditions in here because we get such good flooring, lighting, tables, everything else. But, you know, I think when you play in the UK, you have to be used to playing in a wet hall. We're such a humid country and particularly quite cold that you just have to get used to it. But you certainly have to play at the conditions as well. And brilliant from Danny there, backhand just rolled down the line. Great from Ben Hart on table 2, spraying the ball about.
I tell you what, Martin, see, considering Ben Hart lost the first set, 11-1, and looked to be out of his depth, I don't think would be unfair. He's come roaring back in the next sort of 2.5 sets here.
Absolutely fantastic play. As I said, very mature. Turn that round, you know, 11-1, you could, you know, he's playing against the top player in Larry, so to turn that around from brilliant. He's definitely been in the game. Fortunate there from Danny with the receiver serve, clipping the edge. We don't need any table tennis VAR to see that one. That was clear and obvious. Danny now leading 5-2. Oh, misread that serve. That'll be top spin. I must admit, I do enjoy the service action of Lorestas, especially when he does his backhand one. I think it's great to see. Great holding from Lorestas, unfortunate on his behalf there, clipping the net. Danny raises a hand to apologise, recognises that he was a wee bit fortunate.
I think if Danny can maybe win this 1 point now, go 7-3, I think he might sort of start expressing himself a little bit more. And
just to put the pressure onto Lorestas. Yeah, absolutely, I completely agree. On table 2, Larry Kampuskis leads 7-5.
That point there, I think, has been indicative of this whole match.
Yep.
Struggling a little bit with his serve, Danny on the return.
Yeah, as we said before the match, you know, Lorestas is one of the top vets in the country. You know, he's got a lot of experience and is a very good player.
Now you mentioned it's a very, very low service actually. Whenever you think anybody's going to pull away in this match, you know, Danny at 6-3 there with a serve, just 3 points of no great quality at all, and he's back to 6-all.
Wow, absolute thunderous winner there from Larry Kampuskis against Ben Hart, taking the fourth and final set, 11-6. But credit to Ben Hart, he showed a lot of good stuff there, particularly in his first Senior British Club League Premier Division match. Absolutely fantastic. You know, as you said, Aaron, the way he bounced back from losing the first set, 11-1, it would have been very easy to have put his head down and just taken a beating, so to speak. But he played some fantastic stuff there, especially, you know, clinching that second set 11-9, then going on to lose 7-6, where, you know, until those final few points they were neck and neck. So great to see, lots of positives for the young Drumchapel player.
I'm not sure Danny hitting that serve now. It sort of drifted long into the forehand there, and the way Danny stepped back, it looked as if, you know, oh God. And we have all done it when it drifts long and you think, I cannot do anything here to keep this ball short, but he's got away with it. Or it was meant, and I'm just talking nonsense.
You never know.
And
good spin there from Lorestas. Great feeling, just greasing the ball up. You know, trying to force Danny into that winner, and Danny just caught in between two minds, tried to block it but couldn't quite keep it down. Oh, great flick from Danny.
Couple of times you've done that now.
3 or 4 times you're right, he's flicked down the forehand side and caught Lorestas waiting in the backhand corner. But I think that's something that, you know, when you take the backhand flick whole table, I know obviously it was in the backhand corner there, but when you take the backhand flick whole table, it just opens up so many more options that, you know, it keeps your opponent guessing and maybe takes a little bit of pressure off the receiver, knowing that you can spray the ball around a little bit easier. Big celebration there from Lorestas on the last point. He's definitely up for this match now. It's good to see. We want to see the players fighting for it and going for it. Lorestas obviously knows that this is a important set, you know, going in to the fourth set being 2-1 up. It's a massive bonus mentally.
He's played well there in the last 2 points, and maybe that is just that little bit of quality that this match has been lacking that is going to win him this set.
Here we go. We're going to see my favourite serve here from Orestes. The old backhand stab. Oh, he's not done it. He just went for a simple backhand backspin serve.
He keeps looking at me as if I'm doing something wrong.
Must be the scores.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
I don't know if Danny entirely read that serve well there. I think he caught himself off guard and Orestes. Ruse smile there from Orestes. I think he knows it as well. But as a Drumchapel advocate, obviously we'll take those points. If I was Danny here, I'd look to flick down the forehand side. Oh, good serve though.
Great serve.
Great change from Orestes. Really good change.
I think Orestes showed quality there that this match has been lacking in the last sort of 6 points maybe.
Yeah.
And I think he won 4 out of 4 of them. And, you know, that's... You know, even if Danny or Orestes can show that from the start of this set, then they could, sort of, in theory, run away with it. Just because neither player is up to their full potential still, so far.
Yeah, I thought that was a very good decision there from Orestes, just to change the serve long into the forehand.
You could see Danny was waiting on it dropping into his backhand.
He was. And it's what we said up here, you know, we said if we're Danny, we're looking to go and flick that into the forehand side. You know, so at least if he serves long and fast, it almost takes that decision away from Danny. So it was very clever from Orestes. Very clever indeed. But, you know, the game's not over yet. I think, you know, Danny's shown across the entirety of this season and previous seasons as well, you know, he's got the quality to come back from these positions. So it'll be interesting to see how this
he's
game
had a lot
unfolds.
of experience this year, obviously, he's been playing French League as well.
He has, yep. I don't know if they'll get many wet, miserable halls playing in France, but he's got one to here today, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this fourth set unfolds.
I think he was telling me his first French League match was in Luxembourg. Is that next to France? It was a country next to France. I mean, it'll be maybe Switzerland. It might have been Switzerland.
I don't know.
And it was just across the border, but they're playing the French League. I think it was Switzerland.
I'm not known for my geography or cartography, so
He liked it though.
we'll let the people in the comments answer that for us.
Big 2 points now for Danny after losing those 2 straight away.
Great pick up there from Orestes.
Again, maybe that was that serve again we mentioned in the set before, but it's just drifted long.
Yeah.
And Orestes is
He was ready for it this
able
time.
to capitalise on it this time, yeah. Good spin up by Danny, but even better getting that ball back on by Orestes, and then Danny's just sort of lost.
Me personally, I'm taking a time out in that position, 2-1, 4-0 down. I think, you know, it's a big moment, especially if he loses this one. It's got to be a tee. Good from Danny though, good from Danny, and that's why I'm up here and not down there. Great from Danny, great forehand down the line. Left Orestes waiting. Yeah, that's the serve. Difficult to see from this angle perhaps on the camera, but that little backhand stab of a serve, I love it.
One thing I did notice there, for that serve was there was a lot of movement. He did not settle once. His legs kept moving as he was throwing the ball up. Yeah.
Orestes now leading 5-2. Strong position to be in. Crucial point, I feel, here for Danny.
Good spin up. Two big serves now.
I hope not.
He's caught him again. Danny's waiting for that just to drop into the backhand, and he just dropped the shot to the forehand. And Danny's had to move. Sorry, I got very scared by a dog there.
Yeah, two good serves again from Orestes. He's finding a lot of success on those heavy backspin serves, knowing that Danny's not going to push out, it's not his style of play. He's going to look to flick, and when you get that much spin on the ball, it's incredibly difficult.
Umpire's not giving a let, but both players have.
No, it was. Do you know what? I think that call was actually led by Danny as well, and obviously
Yeah.
Laristis isn't going to turn
that
down a free point. You know, so great sportsmanship there from Danny, because sometimes they're hard to see.
Yeah, I think Danny will take that one after the let, a tight let, a little net, maybe a little bit of karma. It's been licked by a dog. Hello. Is that a third? Is that a third serve that's just drifted longer?
I think it's deliberate though. He definitely wants Laristis to open up so he can look to play aggressively down the line, but it's just not coming off for him today.
Yeah.
Laristis now in a great position, serving 8-4 up. Surprised we've not seen a timeout at all in this set. You know, the way the points have been going, and I know a lot of people like to save them for the fifth set, but if you're not in the fifth set, there's no point saving it.
Is this? I know obviously Rory's. You know, he's coached some of the junior national teams for Scotland, but do you think it's a little bit of an inexperience maybe on the bench? Not noticing it?
Perhaps. I think a lot of players like to call their own timeouts as well. But yeah, as I said, for me, I'd have been calling it a lot earlier. You know, it was 4-0 and then I believe 7-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, especially when you're trailing behind in the sets as well, 2-1. It's got to be called. You know, you've got to try and break that momentum.
Match point though. 5 match points.
Oh, wow. Oh! Great rally to finish it there. Fusion now lead 2-0.
Martin, I'm going to need your bit of paper there so I can input the scores from the Ben Hart match. And I think we've got doubles coming up now. And I imagine it may well be Danny Banjo and Ben Hart that play the doubles. Or maybe the others. Sorry, it'll be a righty-lefty, won't it? I'm talking nonsense.
Well, it'll be a righty-lefty regardless, as long as Danny's playing.
Yeah. On table 2, they're just moving the table slightly to the left because of a drip in the roof, which has made itself known in the last sort of 10 minutes. So they've extended the court by a barrier width and have moved the tables. We'll be back
Stronger.
with the commentary, much stronger, when the players are back on the court. And welcome back.
Doubles underway here with first blood to Fusion, the team of Lorestas Trumpauskas and Joshua Bruce against Danny Bagwell and Ben Hart. Both teams opted for the righty-lefty combination.
Unrelated, but just on a production front, I would like to apologise to the Trumpauskas family.
Trumpauskas, I believe, probably saying it wrong.
The Trumpauskas family for not being able to fit their name onto the scoreboard without pushing the score off the screen. So I do apologise, but it's not my fault.
I mean, when you've got 11 letters just in your surname alone, it's always asking for a lot.
Yeah, you're getting a T dot and that's it. To be fair, I got 10.
It's not a competition.
Feels like it sometimes. It doesn't make any sense. Danny just tried to hit winners.
It would seem that way, but I think also clever from Fusion here, getting Josh some table time, before his first singles match. As Rory Rowan, who's on the bench for Drumchapel, pointed out before the match, he's got 3 games off before he has to come and play. So, it's a long time to be sitting there. So it's good, especially with Fusion leading the match 2-0. I think it's a really clever idea tactically to put Josh in on the table and give him some table time before he has to go out to a free singles match. I wonder if that would have been the case had they lost either of those first individual matches.
Love his hair.
I would have loved that forehand, but it didn't. Drumchapel leading 7-2 here. It's one thing I don't think players up and down the country practice enough is doubles. It happens in every league, and the only time people seem to practice it is when it comes to actually playing in league matches, whether that be the senior British club league divisions or whether it be in local leagues that involve doubles matches. But it's something that I definitely think could be practiced more. Great service there from Ben Hart. Top spin serve disguised. He's just signalled that he's going to go for it again. Lorestas read it really well and was able to get over the top of the ball.
You mentioned how clever it was playing Bruce here, but he struggled.
He has struggled, however, obviously we'll take that as an advantage for Drumchapel. But I do think it is good to get in there and feel the conditions in a match environment, especially when the team, Fusion's already leading 2-0. Good backhand down the line from Ben there, forcing the error from Lorestas. And Drumchapel take the first set 11-2.
When that went 2-1 to Fusion there, and I said to you, is Danny just trying to hit winners? I mean, thereafter, both him and Ben just decided to hit the table. Well, I don't know if they decided to, but they just did start hitting the table and didn't try to put the ball past Fusion. They were playing sort of confident and comfortable table tennis.
Yeah, and I think
you can see this now because Danny's got a smile on his face in the corner.
Here's a first.
That's rare.
No, but I think as you alluded to, Josh doesn't look as comfortable out there. So I think they're just trying to put the ball on the table, make him play a little bit.
We've got one very calm dog up here and one very sort of panicked dog.
I know, I was worried there as she was starting to shake a little bit. As long as she's okay. She'll be fine. She's in good hands.
Dog friendly club, we should put that on a poster. But not when it's that busy because all the balls will get eaten. So
it wouldn't be ideal. it wouldn't be ideal.
And also Terry would go crazy having to clean the floor every 2 minutes.
I can't imagine it'd be much fun calling a let because there's a dog in the court.
Would you like to test that theory?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's only one way to find out. Another service error from Danny, just bleeding in from the singles match there. Maybe trying to do too much. Great forehand down the line there from Danny. Fantastic to see. Brilliant.
Ben Hart just hit the table again because I think both players maybe slightly more Danny in the first match of the singles. I know I've mentioned that a few times, but just almost trying to force it to hit winners. But I think both of them are comfortable here just to keep trying to hit the table and force Fusion into those unforced errors.
digging that one out from the middle, really good. And as you can see, Lorestas losing his temper a little bit there, but as you can see, in doubles, that righty lefty combination is just, it's massive in terms of just having that advantage of both players naturally being in a better position to play a forehand.
I would say both these players, particularly and Danny and Ben, both are very comfortable leaning or having to stretch when hitting the table. So if they get caught out of position, obviously it's not guaranteed at the table, but they certainly get more of a chance hitting the table than others.
Yep. A raise of the hand and an apology and acknowledgement of the net cord ball there from Ben Hart. Whoa, Danny Bajwa. Backhand flick down the line, fantastic.
I can guarantee you I'm going to get that sent to me later on by Danny as he watches this match back.
Well, in that case, it was average at best.
Yeah, that was also very good by Josh Bruce.
Very good.
Nope, put the wrong score there.
Josh Bruce hiding under the table, just trying to get the ball back. That was fantastic. Smiles all around from everyone involved. That was amazing.
That's the first time I've seen Lorestas crack a smile all day. That was good. That was a really good point. Wow. Danny said quite a few of those.
When they're going for you, you take them. When they're going against you, it's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
Great backhand from Ben there.
Playing really well here, Ben, especially as we mentioned for his first Premier Division outing.
Playing very well.
Comfortable.
Unlucky, unfortunately, just that little bit of good fortune off the net cord going back in the favour of Fusion there, as it tends to happen. Swings and roundabouts, as we like to say. Second set, certainly a lot tighter, 8-all. Lorestas is enjoying these top spin serves.
Yeah, he's loving them, isn't he? He's getting a lot of joy from them as well. Yeah, even when they aren't winning even when Fusion aren't winning the point, it's causing chaos.
Two great serves there from Lorestas. Just first one top spin, second one back spin, just causing that indecisiveness from Ben. Deciding to push them both. First one pushing out, and the second one dumping at the bottom of the net.
A veteran player against a cadet player, so he's got a bit of experience there as well. Sean. Yeah, good.
Fusion take the second set, 11-8.
You've played in this division this season, haven't you, Martin? Or was that last season?
I think that was last season. I don't think I have played a single senior British Club League fixture in any division this season.
That's a surprise.
Breaks my heart because there's an argument out there for loves it the most. And no, after being away so much last season with trying to qualify for the Paralympic Games and then subsequently being in the games, I spent a lot of time away from my family, so I was on a short leash this year. I was on a short leash, making sure that obviously I spent some quality time at home with the family and the girls, and yeah, don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely itching to play. And when my international season this year didn't start out very well, I leaned on the fact that I hadn't played many minutes in the Senior British Club League divisions this year, so I said to my wife, look, I need to get playing more, so next season for sure I'll be back playing and hopefully getting a few victories for Drumchapel Table Tennis Club along the way, and it'd be nice to get another run out in the Premier Division like I have done every other couple of seasons, so it'll be good to be back next season, but let's hopefully we can finish this year's division off on a win would be nice, but it's not looking likely as Fusion lead 2-0.
I think the last time you played in this division, I was a makeshift coach in the corner.
Dire straits it must have
That is
been.
bad, isn't it?
Everybody else must have been on holiday. Whoa, Ben Hart, have that. Great play there from the cadet, as you said. You know, we got every age group represented here near enough in this one match. It's fantastic. Ben Hart, obviously, he's a big boy, but he is still in the cadets. So it's his absolutely invaluable experience playing at this level. So young. Another net ball.
Just to update you, the score is 4-0 to Drumchapel. I think the scoreboard on the screen might have stopped, but the scoring system on my phone, which I'm using to update it, is still working. So I'll try and get around to fixing that, but the score is 4-0.
Make that 4-1. Any excuse, all I would say is, you know, a poor tradesman blames his tools, but no, it would appear that the scoring has actually indeed frozen.
I'll wait till the end of the set to try and give it a little fix. In fact, no, I'll have a bash now at the table break at 4-2.
Fantastic from Danny. Forehand straight into the body of Joshua Bruce there, giving him no time to react.
How would you look at that? As if by magic we're back. I think that proves that I'm not a bad tradesman, Martin.
Prove me wrong. Doesn't take much.
Great spin up.
Great spin up from Ben Hart, but again, equally dealt with fantastically by Larest. It's just forcing that awkward ball back into Danny, putting a little bit of side spin on it, making it kick. And then Danny forced to have to take it late to see where the ball's going to end up. He just couldn't quite get it over the net.
Frustration creeping in.
Yeah, you know, I think obviously, despite leading the match overall 2-0, you know, it's how many matches this season across the entire division have we seen be won and lost 4-3? You know, the doubles can and usually is crucial. Great pick up there from Ben Hart on the receiver serve.
The position of the doubles within the wider match as well, being the third match, is spices it up, certainly.
Certainly does.
Great flick. Great flick. There really hasn't been any examples so far, apart from maybe the first set of the Ben Hart singles match and the first set of this match, where a team's been able to pull away in a set. Every time somebody's got any sort of lead, they've been dragged back.
Edge ball there from Danny Bajwa. Another one, he has been very fortunate. Looks like it's starting to grate on Larestis a little bit. Seems to be getting quite frustrated with it. But as we say, that's the game. I'll tell you what, great two balls put together there by Fusion. There was some absolute venom on that serve. Danny's got something to say about it.
There was a trap set and Danny took
There we go.
took the bait.
Oh, he was sorting the scoreboard out. Great receive from Danny, great receive. Larestis tried to do the exact same, but Danny was wise to it.
He's done very well there.
Danny and Ben now leading 10-8 in this third set.
I think if you'd offered them before the match 1-1, 10-8 up, and you'll have the serve, I think they would have been delighted by that.
Absolutely. Well done. It's the old dilemma of, if you win the toss, do you take the serve or do you choose to deceive? And often folk look to give it away so that at 9-0 in the fifth, you're in control. Personally, I like to keep the service. But again, it's all personal preference. I think if you're thinking about what's going to happen at 9-0 in the fifth before the match has even started, then it's maybe not the best headspace to be in. I can understand the tactical point of view because you never know how good your opponent's going to play, or you might be off your game a little bit. But I think, as you said, if you get the choice, given 1-1, 10-8 up in serve, and you're going to take it.
Yeah, certainly. I think Danny always gives it away. That's something that I've noticed even when I've been playing him, maybe in a practice match, and he on a Tuesday or Thursday night, he always gives the serve away. But as you say, it's just personal preference. The dogs have left, Martin.
They have.
Do
you like dogs?
I'm allergic to them.
Are you? You've done all right. You've done all right in here.
I'm allergic to them. I'm allergic to certainly cats and gerbils and all that. And I think because I've been around the dogs for so long, I've sort of built up a tolerance. But I certainly couldn't move in with give one a rigorous pet, shall we say?
A rigorous pet.
Because my hand would flare up.
It'd fall off and you'd look like me.
Well, they're back.
Back stronger.
Calmed down slightly.
Hopefully feeling better. A quick 3 points from Fusion there. Very quick. Larestis looks like he wants to serve receive very quickly. Again, another raise of the hand and apology from Danny and a shake of the head from Larestis. He certainly is letting these net balls get the better of him mentally.
Yes, great ball down the line there. I know I mentioned how good Ben and Danny are stretching, but they're not going to get to that.
No.
Certainly showing his frustration.
Certainly is.
Which he didn't do really at all in that first singles match, but maybe that's because he felt comfortable the whole time. Because even though he wasn't playing it, especially when Danny wasn't either.
He's put that frustration to good use there though, with a great backhand from the middle of the table. Could we have our first fifth set on the cards?
At 7-2, I think Danny and Ben would take maybe 3 out of the next 4 points here, just build themselves back into it. Don't let the match run away from them because very easily will do it.
Oh, great rally, great rally.
You mentioned the quickness of serve, Martin. He's down straight away and the ball's up.
Oh.
He's really not had any luck, has he, on nets?
He's not.
Everything's went against him.
He's going for a backspin serve here. Well dealt with from Ben. Oh, fantastic. That was a really awkward ball to deal with as well. Fantastic from Ben Hart.
I think every shot in that rally was good, which you do like to see. Oh, what's happening here?
Fusion tried to serve twice in a row, Danny wasn't having it. Glad someone noticed. Maybe we should have let Josh serve.
You seem to want that ball before it was there, Danny.
Yeah.
Chased
He has snatched at a lot of forehands this match. this match and his individuals match earlier, just, you know, a bit out of character. Good serve there from Ben, completely and utterly misread by Joshua Bruce, popping that ball up for Danny just to take a complete and utter swing at it.
That's very rare that the club phone goes.
I didn't even know landlines still existed.
I'll go and turn that off after this point. Yeah, it's not ideal. Right, I'm going to go turn that off. That never goes.
By the time you get there, it'll be done.
It'll be done.
And it looks like we are set to go to a fifth and final set here as Fusion lead 10-7. Hold on a minute.
Just an update on the club phone, Martin. I know I said that never goes. It's got 58 missed calls. So it must go a lot more than I imagined it did. Oh, big unforced error there.
Wow, massive points. Ben Hart completely misreading the serve, giving Josh Bruce the chance to have a swing, and he did, but he missed. Good pick up from Ben Hart. Oh, the one time Danny Bajler doesn't get a fortunate net call, and it leads to Fusion taking the fourth set 11-9.
And we go to the fifth. Did you see the reaction of Rory there on the bench when that ball cut the top of the net and flew off?
He was not amused.
He was hands in head. Could not believe it. The fifth and final set starts there. Ben just completely missing the ball. That's the only way you could describe that one. You need to think, Martin, this set is vital if Drumchapel have any hopes of winning this match.
Yeah, going into the post-doubles matches being 3-0 downs, very, very difficult to overcome. Very difficult. Especially knowing that Fusion going into that, knowing they only need one more to seal the victory, it's, you know, massive mentally for both sides. Good serve there from Ben Hart. Half long, just asking the question of Lorestas, and he just wasn't able to pick the ball up. Tying the game back at 2-0.
You picked up on it straight away, Martin, but when Lorestas goes down to serve, as soon as he goes down, the ball's up straight away. He's very, very quick.
Yeah. I do enjoy it though. I think it's a really, really fun and interesting service action. I do enjoy it. But of course, remember, when this game reaches 5 points, they will change sides of the table, but they will also change the order of service. And that's just to ensure that as much as possible that each player serves and receives from the same opponent on as close to a 50-50 basis. Just to make the game as fair and as interesting as possible. So I think especially when it comes to doubles, you know, sometimes a certain way around plays in the favour of certain teams.
Yeah.
You know, and it's interesting that you see a lot of teams leading on the switch at 5-3 or 5 whatever, and then it quite quickly can turn around, which I hope it does here for the Drumchapel pair, but it's something that you see quite often is that, you know, after the switch at doubles, one team either runs away with it or it gets flipped on its head due to the...
Oh, let called, I think. The way that Danny returned that ball there, I think, put Lorestas off, maybe thinking that Danny was calling a let because it came up inside him, in his body.
Yeah,
And he just put it back on the
contentious
table.
there as Catherine O'Neill stuck to her guns originally and said no. The umpire assistant Yuri said yes. Danny said have that. That one's legal. 5-4. It's hard to see from the crow's nest of a commentary box that we're in if it was a let service or not. Oh, that's
wow.
Brilliant. That is brilliant.
Yes.
Smiles all round. Sometimes you just got to appreciate good table tennis.
Danny acknowledged that there, he looked at Josh and said good shot.
Brilliant from Ben Hart, on it like a flash. Cross court, back into the body of Lorestas, forcing him out of the way, knowing that Josh Bruce has to get there. Really clever ball.
We mentioned this earlier, but for his first Prem match, he looks very comfortable.
Brilliant. You love to see it. You love to see it.
Well, since the switch, it's 2-all.
Yep.
I know you mentioned it could still stay tight, or one team could pull away with it, but it's certainly the first of those options.
Right. We definitely saw that one. Yeah. Interesting to see as well on the benches of both teams. Rory Rowan obviously taking the more static and composed approach and choosing to support his fellow teammates, whereas just in camera now you've got Larry Trampuskis, who's been warming up for quite some time, over 10 minutes now, making sure that he's ready for his next game. Bit of anguish there on the face of Ben Hart as he puts that serve off the end of the table.
It's a couple of times now for Larry as well, just off the table here, he's put his hands under the heater.
He's not used to the heat or lack thereof in Glasgow.
I think Danny touched that ball short because the one beforehand he put in, off the end of the table, so a little bit of indecision, and then Lorestas was able to get on top of it. 4 match points now for Fusion.
Very difficult position now for the Drumchapel boys to be in. Trailing 3-0 on the match score. I think obviously, the pairing of Danny and Ben will be extremely disappointed there after leading 2-1, taking the first set so comfortably. But nevertheless, Fusion take the match 3-2 and overall lead the score 3-0. interesting fact there is we put pen to paper tallying up the results, and it was one of those games actually where Drumchapel obviously led 2-1 in the doubles, and Danny and Ben, believe it or not, won more points and yet still lost the match. It does happen, but obviously Fusion now in a very, very commanding position, 3-0. So on tables 1 we have Josh Bruce against Rory Rowan, and on table 2 we have Danny Bajwa against Larry Kampauskas. So if Fusion take one more victory, they'll have secured the win for the team. But Rory Rowan, he'll be looking to get his first win of the season in the Premier Division of the Senior British Club League. He's obviously won a few matches, got great averages in the lower divisions, and even got promoted at the end of the season there. So,
And that one team actually the most division in your team, Martin, with Rory. I think I had one of the best averages in the league. Sorry about that. Sorry anybody who's listening. I think I'm that good. But
as you said, it was the lowest division. We've went up a few since you've left. Sorry,
oh God, dog! Sorry.
That was uncalled
Sorry for taking the listener in vain. I just smashed a dog in the face. I did not expect it to be.
You're not getting a Jaffa cake, buddy. No.
Ah, it's excellent.
Great from the way around, but yeah, Rory's done great. You know, as you said, when you were playing at the peak of your powers, we've come up a few divisions together, and Rory's always been a part of that team. And I think, you know, if there's anyone in the squad that deserves a shot in the Premier Division, you know, he's definitely, wow, fantastic from Josh Bruce. He's definitely a club man and a team player as Rory Rowan. So
he's put the hard yards in.
He has indeed, you know, so obviously it's great, as we said earlier, seeing Ben Hart make his debut in the SBCL Premier Division, but it's good to see Rory getting another run out, I believe it's the second time this season.
Yeah.
But great start of the set from Josh Bruce. Both players with incredible winning shots.
I think my scoreboard's stopped here. Let's have a reset of that. Look at that. Amazing. We took the break, Martin, to refill our teas and coffees there.
We did.
Have some Jaffa cakes. Very nice.
It's a tough life. Great rally on table 2. Larry coming out on top against Danny, but fantastic stuff. Good serve there from Rory Rowan.
Scoring on table 2 3-0 at the first table break in the first set.
My goodness, that coffee is piping hot.
That's the slowest kettle possibly in the sort of North Glasgow region.
I think that's because it's just boiled it to the same temperature as the surface of the sun. That'll be warm this time tomorrow.
Yeah. It's like a Bovril or something like the football.
Top tier beverage. Top tier beverage is Bovril. Shout out to Malo Legal.
Famously a hater of Bovril.
Oh no! Head and hands from Rory Rowan there, and rightfully so. That was terrible.
Even Ben Hart had a laugh at that there. And Charlie McGowan. Everybody, Peter, everybody watching.
Rory knows it himself. We've all done it. Can he reset now? 6-0 in the first set. Yes, he can. Great backhand down the line there from Rory.
You mentioned it with Danny in one of the earlier matches, Martin, but Josh Bruce has certainly taken the backhand flick from anywhere around the table.
It's a part of it is the game now. You know, if the ball's going to stay short over the table, you know, it's players of a high level, and obviously it's trickling down now as well. Is you know, you're looking to take the backhand flick whole table. It gives you so many more options than going in with the forehand. You know, it's a lot harder to disguise with the forehand flicks. Going with the backhand, you get so many options.
And also get so much more spin in the ball because you put your wrist all the way around it and flick your wrist around. Well, I can. You can't.
I mean, I can't relate, but I'll take a word for it.
I tell you what, Rory here, 9-7 up.
He's playing good, you know, because Josh started the set incredibly well.
Fire.
Really strong forehand to start the set. On table 2, Danny trails 7-6 to Larry. Oh, he's went for around the back.
That's not Rory showboat, no, that is his
That's
game.
not. That's literally Rory's game. Don't be surprised if we see a left-handed shot, if we see around the back, between the legs. That is just the way Rory plays. A bit disappointed there when he stepped round for the forehand on the backhand side. But yeah, Rory infuriates a lot of local league players, especially the older generations that think that he's being disrespectful and going for flary, fancy shots. He's not. It's the way he plays, and I've spoke to him about it at length, and he actually says it's because his footwork isn't the best, that he just finds a way to bend around and get the ball back on the table. But
And that right there's a prime example.
it might be. You look to Ben Hart there for encouragement on the bench. But Joshua Bruce comes out on top in the first set, 11-9.
Not sure Josh Bruce will be happy with the way he played there.
I think in patches he will be. You know, he certainly started the set off really well, and I think towards the end it was just mistakes from Rory that particularly cost him. But yeah, definite chances there for sure.
I'm going to flick this camera around just a touch so that we can see the end of the set on table 2, and I'll move it back round for the start of the set on table 1. It's 9-8. The Fusion 7.
Oh, good half-long serve there by Larry, just forcing the decision-making from Danny.
Yeah,
And as that set goes 10-9 to Larry, we're going to have to turn back round to table 1 just in time for the first serve. Oh, great pick up from Rory. Didn't fancy a backhand whatsoever. Ran around and played the forehand from the floor.
Danny
And
missing that bit
table
of luck he
2.
had previously.
Table 2,
Net
the
off.
first set goes to Larry, 11-9.
Been a lot of really tight sets here going to be a Fusion all over the match, and you mentioned it.
Story of Drumchapel's career.
You mentioned that, you know, when we came back on previewing this match, that the drum team did win more points in that doubles match than
The amount of times this season and last season that Drumchapel have lost either 4-3 or 5-2, and the amount of fifth end matches that are in there is unbelievable. But when you're playing at this level, you know, every point really is crucial. Backhand flick.
from the forehand side.
He's chopped it. Snake.
Josh has done well there to stay calm.
He
because
was
that
having
is
none of it.
It can put you off when you're
can.
playing against Rory, because he does that sort of stuff
He
regularly.
was having none of it. A ruse smile on the face of Joshua there. I like that the way both these players play. They're both quite expressive and like to go for their shots. You know, it's good to see.
Getting back underway on table 2, second set. Rory would have fancied that shot all the way until the ball hit the bat as well. It's annoying. So
We've seen a lot of service errors from everyone today. It's very out of character for players playing in this division.
you mentioned it though, is it just an end of season sort of pressure off type scenario? Great push.
Oh!
Josh Bruce as well, wow, what a goal.
Fantastic bit of acknowledgement there from Rory Rowan as well. As we've said time and time again, sometimes you've just got to appreciate good table tennis.
Yeah. For the viewer there, I gave Rory the point for that punch down the line, but it's because I gave Josh the point before him, shouldn't I? It is 5-all. 5-6-5? 6-5. A half-long serve by Drumchapel that worked. That's a rare sight today, isn't it? Well, to be fair, that's untrue. Ben Hart did something in the doubles.
Joshua Bruce just having a bit of fun at the back of the court there, doing some keepy ups with the ball.
I know you mentioned how he went to Holland, but I've not seen one be a sweat on Josh Bruce all day.
No.
Even in the warm-up.
Cool, calm and collected this man. Good pick up there from Rory.
And I know you mentioned it earlier with the metal roof and stuff, it is still absolutely tipping it down outside.
It is indeed.
Which you can hear sometimes in the hall.
Yeah.
With the roof you can hear it.
Especially when it comes
you
up.
get wind.
Great rally on table 2 between Daniel and Larry.
Yeah, good shot with Josh Bruce there. Comfortable and confident. Going from the crossover down the line. He's got a smile on his face, returning. Frustration by Rory.
I think that was the wrong ball as well, though. I think a soft roll down the line there would have been enough. As soon as Josh has received that, he's dived out to the forehand side, knowing that Rory's going to go cross court.
From 8-6 up, Rory will be disappointed with this one. Maybe they've got away with it.
They may well. I don't think it was the best receive. I think it caught both of them off guard, actually.
He's popped up quite a few times, but again, he mentioned it, he's so comfortable when he does that, because he's confident. I know he missed the ball there, but he's confident going to the back of the court and defending his way to winning point. Big rally on table 2 there, but Danny just can't get the break of the ball today at all.
No.
Apart from all the nets he's got, but you know what I mean, he's just not been able to stamp his authority on any of the games.
Yeah, and as you said, is it, you know, the season's over, the game's gone. Is there maybe not as much, or as much fire as there would be at the beginning of the season?
They'll be firing Rory's belly right now. Set point.
Especially at 10-9 up.
Chance. Big chance.
I wonder how much the old TT video system that we saw in Doha in the previous days would have had to say about that service there.
Martin, I don't like table tennis, I've no idea what you're on about. To be fair, I did see one video on Instagram of it, but I wasn't watching. Another chance for Rory missed. I mean, I think, overall, as you mentioned, he is playing upper level playing in this division, but he's certainly had chances.
Has indeed.
He's got no one to blame but himself.
10-8 up. But yeah, no, so as those that would have watched the matches in Doha, these last sort of 10, 12 days, you know, they've now got the equivalent of VAR
for service.
And table tennis for service for edge balls as well. So it's great to see. Personally, I'm a big fan of it. I think
is it on a review based system, i.e. the players
indeed.
call for it? Or?
Yes, so it's like similar to the tennis system.
I like that.
So it's actually, I'm a big fan of it. I think it's a welcome initiative to the game.
12 out. I think Rory's missed 3 set points here.
Yep.
Andy was 8-6 up with the serve.
And 10-8.
Be disappointed. He will be disappointed.
Well, it's not over yet.
You do feel though Rory's lost every single one of these vital points. Maybe with the pressure on Josh, he can come through on this one, but it would be pretty demoralising if he lost this.
Joshua just looks so calm receiving serve. Maybe too calm though.
Maybe. 13-0. You do love a big set, don't you?
Oh, it's about time we got one. Before that, the closest we've had, we've got a couple of 11-9s. Probably say the average must be around about 7.
Still well there, Rory.
Can he capitalise now?
He's having to work hard to give himself the chances, and then when he gets the chances, he's just not capitalising. You know, you need to think this one has to be the one, because it does get in your head if you keep missing them, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
So
Good stuff there from Joshua Bruce. On table 2, Larry Trampowskis leads Danny Baj with 2-1 after taking the second set 11-6.
2-0.
Did I say 2-1?
Yes.
I can only apologise. In my head I had a big 0.
Soft point to lose there for Rory.
Yeah. Saving grace is that he's now serving. Point proven. Serve is so crucial. It's one of the first things we teach the kids here at this club is, your serve has to be the most important part of your game. It's the only time that you're in complete control.
15-0, none of them got to the till.
Oh,
I think Joshua could have done me going to the till there. It's maybe got in his own head. Another chance for Rory now, and it must be. I think he's maybe been 2 set points down, rather than that. He's had every single one of them. Maybe had 8, something like 6.
Oh,
and he's finally
brilliant
taken
from
one.
Rory. 17-15. It's about time someone won that set.
Be happy with that. Will he spin the camera around to table 2? Again, we mentioned it. I think the match is just leaving the control of Danny Blanchard. It's another big high ball.
I'm going to be happy with that.
I think maybe his entire day's been like that, Martin, because he's just had a wry smile there when he's hit the bottom of the net with that forehand that's popped up.
He's already thinking of the Champions League final tonight. Beverage of choice in hand.
No, he's not. He's working tomorrow in Dumfries, 5 a.m.
I said what I said.
Grafter.
I said beverage of choice. It could be a water, cup of tea.
It's true. Although I think he'll be in bed, to be honest with you, if I was to bet on it. Good backhand there, though. Probably been a higher quality match with table 2, but table 1 set would be the most entertaining of the two. Murray there checking his bat after he's hit the edge of the table and the balls went net, and he's won the point now, but he's checking his bat, maybe some damage. I think that's the ball Rory wanted there to come back to him, because you could see the frustration when the ball popped up. He was comfortable going to roll the ball down the line, but just completely left it.
Good from Rory there, leveling the match at 2-2 in this third set, and good off court as well. My coffee's finally cool enough that I can have a drink. Oh, that was great from both though. But as you said, that's the way Rory likes to play. He just sort of bends like Neo in the Matrix and just finds a way to get back to ball. Fantastic. Great shot there.
Cannot do that in this league.
Brilliant. No, not in this division. You can't pop the ball up loose to anyone's forehand.
Unless it's Danny today, he struggled with that one.
I'm clipping that and sending him it. Danny leading 8-4 against Larry Trumpowskis in the third set here on table 2. Rory Ryan. Now that is a receiver serve. Great spin up there from Joshua.
Rory chasing it there. Just keep hitting the table.
Yeah.
Getting frustrated. I mentioned it at the end of the first set after Josh Bruce won it. About how he won't be happy with the way he's played. I just think every time he's had a chance to maybe pull away on Rory here, he's just became slack, or his head's not been in the game. And Rory's been able to sort of get back into it, but again, you could probably argue in this set that Rory's been the looser player.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. The last two serves from Rory have been long fast into Joshua's backhand, so it'll be interesting to see if he changes it up. He does, and it's successful. Good decision making there from Rory. Just that half long backspin one to the forehand, making Joshua make a decision. Went for the same one again. Oh, he's just missed the table. A few stomps of frustration there as he misses by millimetres.
Just an update from table 2. They go back to the table after Danny Bajwa takes time out at 8-7 up. I think he was a little bit further up than 8-7 at one point there. Maybe 8-5 maybe. It's a good time out.
Very good time out.
Could be a good time out if it proved to on the set. Good point. Spin the ball up.
Good open up there from Rory Rowan.
That's good stuff by Rory.
As you said earlier, Aaron, especially in this set in particular, both players struggling to get away from that 2-point lead when they get it.
Another long fast one, Rory.
That's on. Oh, great from Joshua down the line.
9-all on the table to our left, Martin.
It is indeed, and 10-8 on table 1, which, if Joshua can do this 11-8, it'll be the first time there's been a 3-point lead in this entire match. First set 11-9, second set 17-15.
And he can.
And he can't. It's going to be down to 2 again. Danny Bajwa leading 10-9.
Giving himself a set point here with the serve. It's been a battling away, Danny. He's just we've mentioned it a few times, not been able to stamp his authority in any of these matches.
Speaking of stamping, Rory Rowan is doing a lot of that.
Danny again. Ball into the backhand side, turn round, forehand left down the line. It's bread and butter. He's missed it. Let's turn this round. And it's 10-all.
I think just a bit of frustration there crept into Rory's game.
I think
Good serve from Larry there. It's long right into the deep forehand of Danny.
if Rory could take a step back here and sort of maybe assess the situation, he'd be quite comfortable, quite happy. But I think maybe on the court, he's struggling a little bit. Getting on his own head slightly. Get back under Danny.
Oh, wow. Tell you what, good rally to finish the match off. But Larry takes it 3-0, 12-10 in the final set there, and that seals a victory for Fusion. Sadly, another defeat this campaign for Drumchapel Table Tennis Club.
I mean, you mentioned it during the doubles. It's not been for a lack of quality or... Well, maybe you could argue overall it's been for a lack of quality, but it's not been for a lack of quality in the points, or I haven't really been moored in matches other than the Ormsby game, but it's been tight, just not been able to win.
I think the two main disappointments of this season certainly have to be, in no disrespect to the opposition, but it'll be Table Tennis Daily and the North Ayrshire match away. You know, losing both of those matches incredibly tight when they both could have flipped into victories, and that's not taking anything away from the opposition. As I said, it's just obviously, you know, they were probably the tightest matches of the season that Drumchapel just couldn't quite capitalise on and take those victories. So yeah, we'll definitely need to go back to the drawing board next season and look to turn those 5-4 losses, those 4-3 losses into 4-3 wins and hopefully be a bit better. But that's the price you pay when you're playing in the top division in the country.
Be interesting to see how the sort of change of format affects next season.
Yeah, definitely. You know, there's certainly some teams out there that have a certain home advantage, and now that will be nullified. Yeah, I think it would be great for the atmosphere in the hall. I remember playing in last season's Premier Division Cup in the final and that was incredible atmosphere, you know, because you had every team in the division
And the
playing
same
at
hall.
one time, all in a line of each other. It was great atmosphere, and there's the first time out we've seen on table 1 all day. We've had one on table 2 already, but that's the first on table 1 we've seen, and I think it's a good time to take it. Rory trailing 2-1, 5-2. I think it's a clever time to take the time out.
I think, Martin, maybe Rory, and we mentioned it at the change of ends there, at the end of the last set. I think Rory's sort of frustrated with the way he's playing here, but again, see if he was able to zoom out, maybe sit where we're sitting, assess the whole match. I think he'd say he's pretty comfortable. He's not played poorly. He's just maybe if he could.
There are a few errors here and there, and that's been evident with all the players. You know, I think we've seen better from all the players involved with this match. Maybe with the exception of Ben Hart, who played fantastic, who's still got another match to go, and I think that will be good to see Ben face Joshua in the final match.
On this table, I believe.
We could probably wangle it so that it's on this table.
I think it is on this table.
Is it? On the scorecard, it shouldn't be.
Well, if it isn't on this table, then.
Oh my goodness, what a receive from Rory Rowan.
You can see Joshua look at his friend Danny there, have a wry smile after that receive. And I've mentioned it already, but I wonder if Joshua's thinking maybe Rory's not giving up, but allowing himself to a little bit of flair now, but he's not. It's just the way he plays. He'd do that in any match.
He would indeed. Brilliant.
Rory's your kind of main training partner, isn't he?
He would be, yep. I do a lot of training with Rory. He's great for me. He's, you know, the style that he plays, as you said, he can be quite unorthodox. So, you know, when I want him to, he can mimic the para game really well and make the ball awkward for me. As well as in the red jumper on the right hand side, Jennifer from Taiwan, studying and living here in Glasgow over the past 2 summers. She does a lot of multi-ball with not only myself but the younger players in the club here. She's a great asset for the club. But you know, the type of club that we are, everyone trains with everyone. But yeah, I'm very fortunate that Rory gives up a lot of his own time before and after work to help me reach my own personal goals. So it speaks testament of the man that he is, and as we said earlier in the match, you know, if anyone deserves a run out in the Prem division, it's certainly him. He does a lot for the club. He works incredibly hard in the background and on the table, as he's proven there, doing everything he can to stay in that rally.
And it's not
Crucial
like a
point.
It's not like a charity call up for the
Of course
Prem
it's
division,
not.
just to say, you know, thanks for your club. He's competing there. Again, disappointed with that. Every time has been sort of a vital point. Even the set that he won, he sort of like fell over the line.
Yeah.
You know, he's not been able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I think you know, if obviously we'll see what happens here in this set before I continue. Yeah, I think Rory will look back on that and be disappointed because he's not played bad.
Yep.
I think he's just, you know, tried to force it a little bit too much because he obviously wants to win, like we all do. So I don't think he'll be particularly happy with himself with that. However, he did actually play a lot of good table tennis. It's just, you know, maybe a few unforced errors, trying to force the match a little bit too much. And that now makes it 5-0 to Fusion.
And we'll be back. I'm going to mute this again. Hopefully the iPad can hold up. So 40%, we should be alright.
Well, as we get underway here for the final match, on table 1 we have Joshua Bruce up against Ben Hart, and on table 2 Rory Rowan against Lorestos Drumchapel. Rory currently leading 2-1 in the first set, as we await for the players on table 1 to finish having their knock-up.
You're quite looking forward to this match, aren't you?
I am indeed. I don't want to talk it up too much, but I think actually just the style of both players, I think it could be very interesting. Ben Hart's going to get us underway. And point proven. I think that was a great first rally.
That's absolutely...
Good serve in first and third ball by Ben Hart, but then just a great forehand cross court by Joshua.
I've never seen that before. You see when the ball went out the court, Joshua Bruce just sort of standing doing nothing, collecting the ball, coming back in, changed to penhold to catch the ball and then put one back.
I think you observed the wrong things in this court.
It happened. It's going to be quick, this game. Maybe not in terms of length of match, but just in terms of the points. And
Yeah. Oh, that's got to be converted there from Ben. Can't afford to be missing those ones. Yeah, it's a great shot from Joshua. Forehand down the line.
Done well here, Ben, just to stay in the match. I've only lost a few points in a row there. He's won that one, but we've seen in the first match of the entire afternoon that even if he goes down heavily in the first set, he's got the ability to bounce back.
Yeah, I think he's been incredibly mature the entire match. Whether that be his first singles or even the doubles. He's definitely showed that he can play at this level. I think it's good to see, especially someone of his age who's only 16 years old. Fantastic rally, brilliantness from Ben, brilliant.
8-all from table 2. Yeah, Ben dealing well there with the top down 7 and subsequent attacks. Just blocking his way to victory. Big point on table 2. Rory's lobbing. You mentioned how comfortable he is back to the court. Punch, backhand punch. Ball continues. Oh, big spin up to Rory. This point's still going on, by the way. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. 1-0. Oh, Rory's all the way back to the court, worked his way in. And missed the spin up. Off end of the table. Both players share a laugh.
Good serve there from Ben. Fantastic. Long, fast into the backhand, not giving Joshua enough time to react.
I don't think Josh was taking one table break the whole afternoon.
Ben's got the lead here, 10-9. Can he capitalise?
The dogs are excited. They certainly hope so.
Oh, great receive from Ben. Fantastic. But at the edge?
Oh! It must have ever.
I mean, no one's arguing it. It must have. Oh, fair enough. I still stand by what I said. It was a great receive by Ben.
I hope Ben does win this set because I was updated to score already because I thought he missed. I don't know how to fix it.
Well, he's got a chance now. Rory Rowan loses his first set on table 2, 11-8. There you go.
And he does win
Ben
the set,
takes it
thankfully,
12-2.
because I don't know how to fix that set score. 12-10. And, we mentioned it, he went down there, I think he was 8-4 down or something. Just confident to build back. No panic. One point at a time.
He was good, and I think especially, set point up, that edge ball that we couldn't quite see from here going against him. You could quite easily let that get to your head and show a bit of frustration, but he stayed calm, he went back to the table, did what he had to do.
We know Ben, we see Ben play a lot, whether that's, in training matches or local league or even at Scottish Nationals when he played in the men's event, he was so comfortable. No panic playing against the higher ranked players in the country.
Joys of being young.
Umpire Catherine
Great shot there from Rory Rowan as he top edges it into the umpire's face. I think Catherine heard me say that because she did look up from the table.
She's laughing. Oh, we're underway already. That was quick. We did mention how quick this match is going to be, and it certainly is proving to be that.
Good spin there on the ball from Joshua. Just forcing the block from Ben off the end of the table. Oh, fantastic counter slap there from Joshua. Great shot from Ben, but Joshua said, no thank you, see you later.
Did that hit the table?
No.
Umpire's giving it to Ben. I think that might be a correction. I think it might be 4-2 rather than 3-0. And he has went to the... Oh no, he's not for a tail break. Oh, there we go.
Yeah,
4-2.
Ben's calling it. Good sportsmanship there.
I think Danny knows it's 4-2 as well, but he's not getting involved because he's got his t-shirt over his mouth.
No, good sportsmanship there from Ben.
I know we mentioned it earlier on, Martin, but although Drum are 5-0 down here, the matches have been tight. There's only been one 3-0, and it's 5 o'clock, and we see matches finish a lot earlier than 5 o'clock sometimes. And 5-0 would you probably think it would be a quicker run over, a walkover, but it's not.
Yeah, looking at the scoreboard here, we've got a lot of sets. 7, 8, 9, 17, 15, a lot of 12-10s. It's just a shame that, as you said, it's one of those ones where Drumchapel just seems to be on the losing end of them. But as I've said time and time again, when you're playing at this level, every point's a prisoner. And you've got to make sure that you're on it. Well done there from Ben. I think that was a missed set from Joshua.
Yeah, it certainly was.
Yeah, the way the ball bounced up, and sometimes those points are hard to cut away. Because especially when the ball bounces that high on the service, you feel like you can't miss.
Yep.
And Ben did well there to put 2 good balls on the table.
Good job. Was 8-4 down again here, Ben? He's given himself a chance to
8-4,
win the set.
9-5, now 9-6, and as you said, Aaron, the speed, more in particular from Joshua's side, the speed in which he plays the game is, and as you've said before, it's not necessarily the speed in which the balls are going, but it's the in-between points and everything else that's incredibly quick. No break, he just likes to get the ball on the table.
It's 1-1, we spin the camera around as we join Rory here back from court again, as usual, and he's 9-7 up.
8-6 up in the first set, I believe, as well. Great rally from Rory. Shake of the head from Lorestas. He's not happy with that, but sometimes you can't argue. It's just good table tennis.
We're already back at the court here on table 1.
I don't think these boys know they're allowed a full minute. Great shot from Josh Edwards there. Forehand from the backhand side, cross court into bend backhand. A lot of pace, a lot of power on it.
Although Ben missed that one, the forehand down the middle of the court there was absolutely fantastic. He didn't smash it, he just spun the ball down calmly.
Brilliant positional play. Time out on table 2 from Lorestas Drumpauskas as Rory Rowan leads. Apologies. Time out from Rory Rowan as he leads 10-9. Great backhand there from Josh Bruce. Yeah, Josh Bruce just seems to be running away with a set 5-0. But we've seen Ben in these positions before.
Wow. That's excellent. Oh, Rory. Table 2, massive point again. Rory back from the table, blocking backhand, jumping to block the backhand.
He's almost out of court, blocking here.
Smashes in return. Ben Hart, big spin up from chops. He's won the point. Rory still going. Oh, the ball was in court 1 there. Good smashing, and it's 10-all.
Big fist bump from Lorestas Drumpauskas there. Rory gives himself a slap on the head. I don't think there was much he could have done about that there. It was a great backhand flick by Ben down the line, but Josh Bruce had an answer for it. 7-1.
Big show from Rory there. It was a shot served by Lorestas, and he was able just to sort of flick, sort of touch. I don't know how to describe that shot, but it just dropped.
I didn't see it.
Half long. And it's set point against a third set point for Rory Rowan on his own serve. Back from the table again with the backhands, this time into the bottom of the net. He struggled all day today, Rory, in terms of putting away set points.
Rory Rowan with another set point.
Ben Hart again, though, comfortably building back. 6-0 down. He's won 4 out of the next 5 points. And that phone's going again. That's unbelievable.
Brilliant from Rory Rowan to take that second set. 13-11.
It's the third set in a row that Ben Hart's been 8-4 down. Won one of them, lost one of them. It's not an ideal situation to be in, but he needs to believe. It's now the second set in a row he's been 9-5 down. Yeah, good by Josh Bruce.
And you know, Aaron, fun fact, if Ben wins this point, it'll be the second set in a row. He was 10-6 now. Oh, he doesn't.
All right, well done. That's your fault.
I'm not the one playing.
I'll spin this round, but I don't think there's any point, because these boys will be back at the table in a matter of seconds.
I'm going to time it.
It's the start of the third set on table 2. It's 1-all, and it is 1-all. Hellfire.
Popular club today. Lots of phone calls, lots of folk just phoning in. hotline popping, saying table tennis on show here today is fantastic.
I bet it's somebody trying to wind us up.
Could be.
That's highly possible.
Stinks of Yaza Rizik on the wind up.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I love that service action from Lorestas. I've said it time and time again. Ben Hart back at the table after 40 seconds.
And Josh Bruce after 45.
I don't think they know they can take her for a minute.
Another massive point on table 2 is unbelievable.
Josh Bruce getting us underway here. First blood to Ben.
Three all at the towel break on the table 2. Not sure the umpire sure what to give that point for. Might have hit the edge of the table. 3-1. We'll get an acknowledgement from the players soon. Nope, 2-all.
Yep, 2-0, you're right. No, umpire's still confused. We get there in the end. There we go. We got there in the end, and that's all that matters. Again, good sportsmanship from Ben, correctly calling the points against him. There's a lot of players out there that would play dumb and say, well, it's not. Oh! He didn't play dumb with that backhand.
He's excellent.
That was fantastic.
He's really good at that though, he does that often.
He does indeed.
Five all on table 2. It's been I think it'll be fair to say it's been a lot tighter than we initially imagined.
Yeah, I think, you know, credit to Rory Rowan on table 2. He's played absolutely fantastically well, and you know, from what we can see, you know, Lorestas isn't playing bad. Rory's just upped his game. I think the disappointment of the match previously has definitely inspired him a little bit.
I'll tell you what won't happen on this table, Mark. Ben Hart won't go down. It's 5 all.
It's looking somewhat difficult, yeah.
He's played well though.
Yeah, he's played very well.
In general, you know, the doubles the first match. This match in particular, I think, as you said, the style of Josh Bruce will probably suit Ben. I think get a more competitive match.
Absolutely. I think if Ben loses this point, which he has done, the speed in which Josh is playing at, I'd be looking at taking a potential time out here.
Towel, maybe, because it's 7-5.
Either or. But yeah, I think you can't really let him play at that quick pace and that momentum.
I think Danny's
signalled for it now, yeah.
But I think, I mean, we've mentioned it a few times, the sort of lack of experience at this level. Maybe someone who has experience at this level would have just realised the score there. We even went over the towel just to slow the match down.
Exactly. I think personally myself, I've done it before. You take the towel down, take as long as you can for the towel break, go back to the table, then call the time out. You know, really great rally from Rory Rowan on table 2, but you really wound the clock down.
Yeah.
You know, and you're entitled to do so. Is, you know, you're entitled to that towel break. Take it, go back to the table, call the time out. Just run the clock down. Just try and do everything you can to break the momentum of the opposition, because, especially, you know, as I've said time and time again, the speed in which Josh likes to play at, it can be difficult when he's racking points up.
It's difficult just to keep up with him. Here we go then, back for the time out. 8-5.
You can't argue with that. You can't argue with that. It was a great shot from both. Oh, edge ball there. Little smile on the face of Ben Hart. Wow, Rory Rowan was absolutely taking the paint off the ball there.
Great return by Ben there.
Really good return. Kept the ball nice and low. Very good.
Second match point for Josh. And he takes it.
Does indeed. A good match. That was a good match. We're going to spin the camera around.
I'm enjoying the action at 9-0. 9-10. 10-9.
Lots of positives there from the young Ben Hart in his first senior British Club League Premier Division match for Drumchapel Table Tennis Club.
It's a mouthful, that, isn't it?
Say it 3 times fast, I'll give you a fiver. Oh, and the rest is just serving off Rory Rowan there. Taking that set 11-9 and the lead 2-1 in this final match of the day. I've got a dog asleep on my lap, I've got a coffee in hand, and I'm watching top tier table tennis. What more could I want?
You're a happy man to please. An easy man to please. I'm going to try and catch the scores up here in a second. Okay. Could have been watching this match out the corner of an eye, Martin, and entertaining, I think, would be an understatement.
It has been very entertaining. A lot tighter than anticipated as well. It's been very good quality from both.
We're back live with the scoreboard as well, which is good news. Is that going to hit the table? Now Rory can't let this get away from him now because obviously he's lost that last set there. It was pretty tight, and we noticed it in his first singles match how much he maybe got frustrated with himself a little bit. I need to hope that he can just keep playing his own game here.
Rory seems to be getting a little bit frustrated with himself now. I don't know how many more opportunities I'm going to say it, but I love that serve from Lorestas. This is so unorthodox. Great from Rory Rowan. Look at the feet on the man. Fantastic. A thoroughly deserved point. Lorestas having a laugh to himself.
I think everybody in the hall had a laugh to himself.
Rory should be very proud of that point. Never gave up.
Again, I think I have mentioned it about 15 times, but that is the way he plays.
It is. He gets
bat
on ball. He gets bat on ball, so he does.
Oh, it's a Scottish phrase. So he does. Ending a sentence with so he does. Scoreboard closed.
Great positional play there from Lorestas, straight into the crossover of Rory, and when you're playing the ball at that pace, it's incredibly difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, Rory, again, frustration's creeping in, it doesn't need to.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think he's expected to win any of these matches. You know, if he could play with a little bit of freedom, I think he'd benefit from it. Good backhand. Another good backhand. Oh, left-handed shot. You mentioned it was going to happen at some point. It's hit the bottom of the net there, but it's you knew it was happening. You knew it was going to come at some point.
10 out of 10 for effort though.
Yeah.
Orestes has had a lot of success in all of his matches today with that heavy backspin serve.
Wet ball. Might be in that puddle from the hole there. Yeah, and that was the match. 7-0 Fusion, but I think it's maybe just a bit of an unfair result. Martin, reflections on today and reflections on the entire season?
Tough.
Yeah.
Tough at the top.
Yeah, it's
tough at the top. Yeah, you know, I think it's one of those ones where, again, we're playing against a good team. There's a reason it's the Premier Division. You know, there are no easy matches, there's no easy points. And not able to field our strongest team either, which is why this match was postponed. Fusion asked for postponement. They weren't able to field their strongest team a few weeks ago, as Orestes had the Vets Nationals and Larry had the Under-21 Nationals, you know, so we kindly obliged and postponed the match as is the right thing to do. But you know, as that's resulted in we're not able to field our strongest team either. But it was always going to be tough no matter what, you know. And I think Fusion have showed a good quality of table tennis there, and so have our boys. It's been really good, but it's been a tough old season.
Yeah.
And hopefully next season we can be back stronger.
Well, you mentioned next season. Thanks for joining us today and the entirety of this season. Next season there's a change in how this division is going to be played. It's going to be played sort of in one hall all at the same time, so not sure what the streaming setup is going to be for next season, but I'm sure we'll see you there. Cheers.